welcome to the Amoretti Test Kitchen. Today we're gonna make these fun, cute, summery cake pops with a core of cake flavored with Amoretti coconut cream artisan and a shell of white chocolate flavored with Amoretti lime zest oil extract. That sounds so exotic and tropical. Let's get making. 2 cups of a 1 or 2 days old cake. You don't want to use fresh cake for this one. So I've crumbled it up and I'm going to drop in 2 cups of crumbled cake into the bowl. Make sure the crumbs are fine and without big lumps in it. That makes sure your cake pop is going to be smooth and the texture is going to be so fine. Drop in a 1/4 cup of buttercream, and you can use any kind of buttercream, American, Italian or Swiss meringue, no problem. Just drop in the buttercream of choice. 1 tablespoon of the coconut cream artisan. This one smells so good and it's going to be delicious in the core of the cake pop. So drop it right in and you want to make sure you get all of it. Now mix it all together. So make sure you knead the cake dough very nicely, like really go in there with your hands and knead it really well so that when you make the balls, it'll be smooth without cracks and the texture will be super fine. When you dip in and out of the chocolate, it's gonna have like a really rounded top. Once the cake dough comes together smoothly, we're gonna make small 1 tablespoon size, or using a cookie scoop, we're going to make small equal balls, and I'm going to use something with a rounded bottom like a dessert mold, or maybe you can use spoons like these to keep the balls in it so that the round shape of the ball is not destroyed and it looks perfect even after you freeze it. So I'm going to go in with a cookie scoop and get that. Make perfect balls and make sure there's no cracks or any lumps. So once you have the shape that you're looking for, drop it in to something that can hold the round shape of the cake ball. So I'm going to use a mold today. Also, you can invest in a cake pop maker which has like indents in it that can shape your cake dough into perfect rounds for you, which is so much more easier, of course. So depending on the size of the cake balls that you make, you can average about 12 to 15 cake pops from this batch. So once the cake balls are in the mold, grab a couple of cake pop sticks, and I have here 1 cup of melted white chocolate. Make sure that you use a good quality chocolate for the shell because that is what is going to make the difference to this cake pop. And I'm going to add that shining touch of lime zest oil extract to the chocolate to flavor it. I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of lime zest oil extract. This is oil soluble and it'll blend perfectly with the white chocolate without seizing it, and that is exactly what we're looking for. There we go. Look at that. Look at how seamlessly it blends into the chocolate and flavors it in the most refreshing lime flavor. I'm gonna grab a cake pop stick, dip it just a bit. You don't need a lot of chocolate in there, so tap out all the excess and poke it into the cake ball like that. Don't go all the way in because it'll start showing at the other end. So just 1 little dip, tap and poke it in. We're going to freeze this for 10 to 15 minutes, no more than that, because then the cake pop will be too frozen and when you dip it in chocolate, the shell is going to crack. So just 10 to 15 minutes and we'll be right back. So the frozen cake pops is out of the fridge, and I'm gonna dip it in the rest of the white chocolate. One quick dip, tap to get out the excess. So I'm gonna do a fun unicorn design for one, and you can just roll them in sprinkles, color the chocolate in any color that you like, put some sprinkles or drizzle on top, and finish it off. But I thought it would be fun to make a unicorn themed one, so let's make that one. Use a cake pop stand to hold the cake pop. You can also use a styrofoam piece to poke it into it and make it stand upright, because you want the cake pop to dry upright. So this is a way to do it. Or else, if you have none of these, you can just fill a cup with marshmallows or grains or pulses or something that has weight, and then just stick the cake pop in it, so that will stand upright. So the options are unlimited. Just make sure that the cake pop stands upright to dry. So before the chocolate is fully dried, I want to stick in the ears of the unicorn. So I'm going to use sprinkle rods for that one. There we go. After we have the sprinkle ears in place, we're going to let this dry, and then I'm going to dip it in chocolate again so that the ears are also covered in chocolate. I'm going to wait a minute for it to dry, and while that's happening, I'm going to dip the rest of my cake pops. So if you don't have sprinkle rods, you can also use maybe fondant or marshmallow, or cut marshmallow in the shape of ears, or maybe you can just use a piece of nut, like an almond sliver or something, to go in there like this, and then double dip it in chocolate again. Now that the ears have set, I'm going to double dip to make sure we have a coating over the sprinkles. Before the chocolate sets on the second coat, I'm going to add some unicorn hair, and I'm going to use sprinkles for it. So I have multicolored sprinkles, and I'm going to use the pastel ones that look really nice. You can also go in with royal icing, buttercream, or something that fits to draw hair on. That works too. So once that's in, I'm also going to add some fondant unicorn horns onto the cake pop. So I have it made. I made it with fondant and dusted it with gold luster dust, so it looks all shiny. I'm going to put it right there. I'm going to pop this in the refrigerator. I'm not going to freeze it, but I'm just going to keep it in the fridge for a couple of minutes for the coating to set and the sprinkles and the horn to be sturdy enough, so that now we can go in and draw the eyes of the unicorn. Now that our unicorn cake pops are coming to life, let's draw some cute eyelashes and winking face for our cake pops. So I have some melted dark chocolate in here, and I'm going to draw the eyes. There we go. And we have the eyelashes all on. And now we're gonna put on some blush and glitter on and make it really fancy. So let's get some luster dust for that one. I have a kitchen towel, and I have a little bit of red food color and a little bit of luster dust. There we go. Mix that. And I'm gonna blush the cheeks. There we go. So here we have our summer unicorn cake pops all ready, and I have some lime colored ones on the side to actually suggest the flavor that they carry. So look at these ones. It has like a lime green shell and sprinkles on top. So we have the coconut cream cake inside and the lime zest oil flavored shell outside. Look at that. It's such a complementing flavor combination with coconut and lime. It goes so well with one another, and I'm totally in love with it. Make this at your next summer party and your guests or your kids are gonna love it. So if you make these fun, cute cake pops at home, don't forget to tag us at Amoretti on our social media channels on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and TikTok. Also, if you like the video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, like and comment. Thank you. Have a fun summer.